So, the dark night of the soul has come back in you again. There's perhaps a feeling of dread, perhaps a little bit of worry going on, because again, you're back in the darkness and you're like, what's happening to me? But it's okay. This time, it's going to be painful, right? But it's happening for a great reason. And I'm going to talk about this second dark night of the soul, the reappearance of the pain. And we're going to talk about this today. So, you've been through your life a bit, you've been on the spiritual journey for a while now. You've had your peak blissful experiences, be that Kundalini, be that just whatever it is within you. And you're seeing perhaps synchronicities everywhere, and these are great signs. They're showing you, broadly, that you're waking up to the true sense of self within. But the true sense of self isn't really fully recognised as an experience yet, and we're still believing ourselves to be something we're not. In a lesser degree, true, but we're still believing ourselves to be this full sense of self in front of consciousness. If this makes sense, I hope it does. You've hit a point now in your spiritual journey where you've actually genuinely really made really good progress. You feel different. You know you're different. You've made some really impactful changes in your life. You're beginning to likely inspire other people in your own way. And you're setting, what I'd like to say, a nice example for people. You've almost been given, shall we say, a vision of this, of what you want to become, this idealistic version of what you want to become, the greatness, to awaken the greatness within and become that person as an example to the rest of the world in your constant life. But there are a few things holding you back, if you're honest with you, right? And it's these things that perhaps are holding you back, whether they come through, or they will be coming through limiting beliefs of self, but also what's holding you back perhaps is this self-image that we have. And this second dark night of the soul is going to come in and absolutely destroy that self-image. Now when I say self-image, a lot of us on this spiritual journey don't have a very positive self-image. Some of us can be covert narcissists, right? And we do have that my whole life's all about me kind of vibe going on. But even within that dynamic, most of us see ourselves self-image wise as losers, as weird, as odd, and that's because of your conditioning, right? You've been told that all of your life. And I was speaking to my father about this today, actually. It's almost like if you get told something enough, you believe it. However, we get to a stage of awakening where actually our experience is very different now, and we're still holding on to judgments that people had of us in the past that actually aren't relevant to us anymore. But we're still holding on to them in this form of this self-image, this damaged, broken one in the mind. And it's very important to understand this, because it's this, the ego, but this subtler version of ego now, that we don't need to, because the dark night of the soul will do it for you anyway, crush that. We need to be seeing without the lens. We need to almost take that self-image mask off. And this is beautiful. This is why it's such a wonderful thing, and I'm feeling into this, and it seems like this is coming up again now, like the second dark night of the soul. Perhaps people weren't going through the dark night of the soul, or the second one before on this channel, and now they're being baptized into the blessing that it is. They're stepping their toes in the water, and I'm sure I've been through 2 dark nights of the soul really, and it is this second one that I'm talking about now that is the hardest. It comes back, it knocks you off your rocker a bit, because you're like, I've been doing so well, I've made really good changes, and then the dark night of the soul can come back and leave you with a feeling of hopelessness, a feeling of, oh, not this again, a feeling of, is my whole life going to be like this? And paradoxically, if you can find some acceptance in the pain, Your whole life won't be like this. Of course, also you can accelerate your awakening by doing breathing practices or yoga, and I will advise seriously, if you're in this dark night of the soul, please do pick up a daily practice. If you'd like, you can have my daily practice, that's down below, it's not free. But if you'd like something free, just to whet the taste buds to see if this might be something that you can go along with, down below there's a free cosmic double breathing practice. It will bring awareness to your limiting beliefs. The second dark night of the soul, I suppose, is to do with limiting beliefs, but more, I suppose, the focus is on seeing through the sense of false self that we've not necessarily created for ourselves, because that's come through our conditioning, but are upholding. And now, because we have a vision of where we want our lives to go, we can't hold on to this self-image anymore. We can, and if you do, life will make you hurt. But it's nice, right? It's like life is there saying, brother, I know what you want to do with your life, you know what you want to do with your life, you can't get there. This self-image is that hurdle that we need to, I suppose, not really jump over, but destroy. And again, it's not us against this negative self-image. That self-image is there by choice, but we need clarity and we need to deconstruct, I suppose, and this is why we use the breathing practices, because our personality, our self-image is held in the frontal lobes of the brain, so we do the breathing practices and it will stir up and loosen the grip and remove the cobwebs from that egoic structure and loosen the glue, shall we say, so that we can see through it. And when we penetrate through the ego with our mind and spot its cunning plans, it will disintegrate. Now that takes time, and you may well be in this dark night of the soul for some time. Which is why, if you can, it's nice to accelerate the awakening. If you get the opportunity to get your hands on some sadhana, like the stuff below, it's great for you. You don't have to, of course, you don't have to listen to this guy on the internet, but you'll begin to recognize improvements and changes if you do even just one, let's say one yoga flow, one round of sun salutations, you know, one round of breath work, one sit down and meditation session. All of it helps, but if you want specifically guided, specifically designed practices, they're down below. They're the Dark Night of the Soul training, sadhana, things that I went through, that my teacher gave to me. So, to recap, I suppose, just before I do actually, what you'll find, especially in this second Dark Night of the Soul, is that it's actually not all bad. Yes, the pain is so low and it hurts, right? It vibrates in your tummy area, in that Manipur chakra, and it vibrates very strongly. But to counterbalance this, there are very high blissful feelings. Just go out and take a walk and you'll see. Do your practice, let's say, and then go out and take a walk and you'll notice the contrast. There are moments of absolute beauty and bliss that you have yet to touch within yourself. I don't say that patronizingly, but that was just my experience of it. And as we go through this darkness, it's like the yin and yang, the negative and the positive, they split even further apart. And yes, we feel low lows, but by Jove do we feel high highs, exhilarating euphoria at times, and I'm excited for you for that. And as these dualistic things play out, the positive and the negative, through deconstructing the ego, we enter what we call in yoga Shushumna, or this midway, the point beyond duality, where there is no, I don't like saying these things, but it's true, the timeless self is there. There's no time, there's no future, no past, just stillness, just silence, no labels, just truth, equanimity, peace. And of course these are just words, right? Words are so limiting, they can't describe the truth that we are beyond the egoic structure in the mind. But it will be your experience very shortly, because this is what the Dark Night of the Soul number 2 is trying to reveal in you. Of course, down below, if you're going through this and you're not sure, perhaps the pain gets too much, you're allowed to join our community down below. It's totally free, we'll help. It's good to have a support structure when you're going through something like that, because it can be terribly lonely. Thank you very much for watching, And of course, have a lovely day.